Hello once again. I'm going to take you through DOM manipulation using jQuery. We first create a new file. We save it as DOM manipulation.html. So what is DOM? DOM stands for Document Object Model. It is a tree-like structure of HTML elements. Basically, we have these elements when we create an HTML file. This is a branch of the tree. This is another branch. This is another branch. So each branch can have sub-branches, like head is having a sub-branch of title, which is DOM manipulation. In the head, you can also have this meta information, which are there to provide some additional information to your HTML document. Here you can even have a script. Under head, you can put source tag. In the previous videos, we have been using jQuery offline and jQuery CDN. In this video, let's try Microsoft jQuery. We open the link. Inside here we see various versions of jQuery. You can right click any version you like. Of course, not all the versions have got the same features. So we paste the link here. Inside Google hosted jQuery libraries also you have got other links for your jQuery CDN. For instance, in Google you have different versions. You can even copy one of them, like this one. You just select and copy. If you prefer to use Google, you can come and paste it there, then you leave this one. So as we are using Microsoft, we will try Google later. So this is how you add CDN. So inside the body, we add another script tag. Inside body again, we add heading 1, which we call DOM manipulation. Then paragraph. Inside the paragraph, we add an input box which has got text type. Name, we call it items. ID, we call it list item. We can include another list at this level, which has an ID of list. So we are going to write jQuery codes. Let's first open the document. We are going to write jQuery codes which will allow a user to type something here. When a user presses a key on the keyboard, that item will be added to the list down this box. So let's get into jQuery. We write the initial code. Ready. function like this. So how are we going to do it? We first provide the ID for this input box, which is the list item. ID is preceded by hash, then dot this method key up. Key up is going to be used to get the command from the key of the keyboard. Inside the key up, we put function, which should have a variable which will correct the event which is triggered. Immediately we create a variable which we call code. We can call it press equal e.which. So e.which means event which was triggered for which key. So the key will be saved inside this variable called press. So if press is equal to 13, meaning that the key pressed is enter key, jQuery is now restricting the form from submission. Normally when we press enter key while on an HTML form, it tends to submit what is on it. So in this case, when we press enter key, the form will not be submitted because e dot prevent default. The next is to add the item on the list. So you remember the list here is ordered list, which is OR dot. We use append methods to add additional list items. So we use this concatenation. So what do we put inside this concatenation? Symbols. E dot target dot value. This E will be storing information for the key that was pressed. Dot target dot value. Then what is inside the input box will be added as a list item. So let's try to run the code and see what it gives us. So we refresh once again. We add like jQuery. So jQuery is added on the list. We add HTML. We add CSS. We add PHP. We add JavaScript. So whatever we type and press enter is going to be added as a list item in a dynamic way. What you need to be careful of is that what we have typed so far is not being saved in any database. It is not being saved because when you refresh the page, it will go with that action. So nothing is saved anywhere. So next, let's see how you can create an array and display the content of that array on an HTML document. First of all, let's include a horizontal ruler to separate what you are doing with the previous section. Here we add a div which is called students. So students is gonna be a div that will contain the content from the array. So let's create the array here. Creating array in jQuery. This is the comment. So let's create an array called let's call it students array, which is equal to here we can put another value inside the array. Can put the fourth person. So this is the end of the array. Now, how do we display the contents of this array on a DOM? We use each, which acts as a loop, then the name of array, comma, function, variable a, comma, value, so this is where we are going to display the contents from the array. You remember the div which is going to contain this array is students dot append method list item plus list item. Of course, as we are making it as a list, it is better to change div into maybe an ordered list, because we are using list item instead of div. So let's save and refresh the page. Not working. Here we need to assign this value. We need to assign this value. Refresh again. So the list is added. The same thing when we add more content inside this box and we press enter, still the list will be created. And so on and so forth. So this is a DOM, and we are just manipulating how it displays, how it gets the content and so on using jQuery. Let's provide another example. Within this level, we add another horizontal ruler. Down here we put another P. Inside the P we put A. Here we provide example.com example. So this is the link. We refresh, the link example is created, but we don't know what the link, what URL the link is holding. Let's use jQuery to fetch the link and display it maybe in a message box. At this level, we are going to write $a dot attre we put the hyper reference inside. Of course, if we are to display this in a message box, we use arrows like this. So let's refresh. As we refresh, the URL for the link is displayed in a message box. So we can leave this as a comment. Let's create a simple list here. Inside this link, we go to the next line and order the list, list item. Sorry, this is ordered list, not unordered. We say item 1, item 2, item 3, refresh. So the list is coming in. Now we wanted to manipulate this DOM by adding additional items to the list using jQuery. At this level, we add here the list should have the ID, order the list ID, let's say list 3 as ID. Here we put list 3 dot append. We are going to append a list item. Concatenation. We cross list item like this. So here we put single quote, semicolon. So what you are going to append here is going to be append item. Append item is going to be added as the fourth item. Not working. So what is the problem? list number 3. So here the list ID, did we use ID or classes at the top? Yeah, it is list 3 as ID. Dot append list item like this. So let's refresh. Still does not work. So let's comment this and see whether it still works. Yeah, it still works. So where is the problem here? Here it is not students, it is list 3. List, sorry, we are at this level. ID list 3, okay, dot append. Let's say before refresh. Before works, it does not append, but it brings the content before the list. Let's add after item. Here we add after. We refresh. Before we refresh, we do after item as a message to be displayed down here. Yeah, it works. So why append does not work? Let's see. Append. We start with the prepend. List item. List item. Let's try this and see. So append and prepend do not work. So let's leave it, we will try it later. So DOM manipulation is all about dealing with HTML elements which might derive from body, from any other element, like this A, BL, OL, and so on. They are all deriving from paragraph. So they are the children of paragraph, and so on and so forth. So thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.